Hey, what's happening, Facebook friends? How y'all living? It's a Wednesday. I'm in my office, and I decided, you know what? I just want to share an amazing story about my oldest son, Kingsley. I don't know if you know this story, but he's got an amazing life story. One day I think he may do something with it. But again, that's Kingsley, Kingsley, Marshall McGowan. I've got a good friend named H.R. Mack in Flower Mound, Texas, in the Dallas area. He told me, if you get to Wikipedia, you made it. So if you Google Kingsley McGowan name, you'll see that he's on Wikipedia, okay? So he's at that level. But something happened in his life before he got to that premier level. Kingsley, our oldest son, he was born December the 18th, right? About a week before Christmas. My wife and I wanted to have kids. It wasn't easy, we had a lot going on, so I decided maybe we ought to just do adoption. I said, because it's just not working out, because we got our own plan, but I learned something. God has a plan for everything, and you got to be patient in life, and I've learned that. So it's not time, the doctor said, okay, we're gonna go ahead and induce the labor. Kingsley, at his birth, we were in the delivery room. The nurses and the doctor, they paused like something had happened. And I got nervous in the delivery room. Let me tell you what happened. There's something called amniotic band syndrome. You may want to Google this. It's called amniotic band syndrome. Come walk with Maria. I'm going to tell you what is it about. This is amniotic band syndrome. Imagine at birth that a baby is developing with their mom, and their body is wrapped in fiber. You see how I'm wrapped? It's like threads. Your body is entangled. So as Kingsley was growing, his body was developing within my wife Karen. It was clipping body parts. There is a football player who plays for Seattle Seahawks. His hand was completely removed at birth through amniotic band syndrome. At Kingsley's birth, I'll take this off. So you kind of got the situation, right? What's happening, right? So here we go. I'm just moving this off. This is how Kingsley's body was entangled in fiber. At Kingsley's birth, this is his left hand. These two fingers were amputated at birth. So this is his left hand. This is his right hand. So you're talking 6 fingers. The doctor also said that Kingsley's foot the curve was so deep that he said that he told the McGowans, we may have to amputate his foot. And I was at the hospital and I was like, he's already lost his fingers, and now you got to amputate my son's foot right out. And I was like, I know this cannot be possible because we had waited to have a son. I just couldn't believe it. I could not believe it. I was so glad that Karen said that perhaps we should name him Kingsley. And I said, oh, I like that name. And so I began to, I just call him Master Kingsley. Master Kingsley. That's what I say, you know what? I like that name. I told Karen, I like that name. So that was his name. I was so wiped out. I just didn't know what to do because my son was missing his fingers. And they told me to check on prosthesis for his foot. And I said, and the nurse told me, she said, Erwin, can I talk to you a bit, please? So the nurse pulled me outside, and because Kingsley was there, she said, Erwin, look at this young man's face. She said, he's a good-looking son. and you were smiling. You said you were so happy to have a son, and all the nurses was, we love you. You just had us laughing. We need for you to raise up and be strong. This young man is gonna need you. He's gonna need you. And you gotta overlook the missing body parts. She says, so I need for you to get yourself together. Because this is a good looking kid and we know he's gonna do some wonderful things. So Kingsley was, when he was young, he had a cast on his foot, so he couldn't walk, he would crawl a lot. On his 1-year birthday, Kingsley stood up and he walked. He walked. We were so excited that Kingsley could walk. He was fighting before he got here and he's fighting now. That's how amazing Kingsley was as a baby. So Kingsley was growing up and the kids would make fun of his fingers. Remember this now? So you talking here and you talking here. But I told Kingsley when he was a baby that he had 10 fingers. Now you probably say, why did I say that? I believe it all starts here. If you tell a kid they're missing something is not normal, they'll believe that and it'll be a handicap. So I refuse to allow Kingsley to think that he had a handicap in life. So I told Kingsley, so we coming over here, so I'm gonna take a ball, right? This is how I developed Kingsley, right, as a baby. I said, Kingsley, see this ball? I want you to focus on using your thumb. When you shoot basketball, shoot with your thumb. And people said, man, look at Kingsley, man, this dude can dribble the ball and he missing fingers. And he was fast as well because I told him just what? I said, you gotta run. You gotta run so nobody can catch you. We laughed, and Kingsley used to tell a joke when he was young in middle school. They said, Kingsley, what happened to your fingers? He said, I got bit by a shark. We was like, I said, son, I like that. He said, a shark bit my fingers when I was young. And the kids were just, and I said, son, that'll take the kids from you to say that. There's something else I did too. I'm gonna place this over here. I gave Kingsley this book to read. This guy, no feet and no hands. And I made Kingsley, he had to read this book because it says no excuses. So many times in our lives, we make excuses about why we can't perform. So he read this book. This was an assignment I gave him. We moved through junior high, and I said, you gotta be strong now. You gotta be strong. When we get to high school, he was good. He was strong. He was confident. But Kingsley wanted to be a basketball player. It didn't work out. But here we go. There were two coaches at St. Thomas High School named Coach Wolf and Coach Mills. They introduced rugby to Kingsley at St. Thomas High School. Amazing coaches who taught an African American male how to play rugby. With what? 6 fingers. Let's go again. We got what? Boom. And we got here now. He only has 6 fingers. But Kingsley loved Coach Wolf and Coach Mills. He watched all the teams in South Africa. He watched a team in Ireland, and he just loved rugby. And we were so excited because Kingsley, he wanted to be great. He wanted to show everybody that despite me missing fingers, despite my foot, that I can do anything you can do. And boy, did he take off. He went to college. He played rugby in college at St. Mary's College of California. He was an All-American 3 years. He was a member of 2 national championship teams. Kingsley, they used to say, go Kingsley. And this is what I did too. I used to wear a shirt at all of his rugby games that says, I'm your #1 fan and you're my hero. Kingsley used to see his dad at those rugby games. You see what I was doing, Facebook friends? it's mental. It's all about how you take your kids and how you mold them and how you push them for greatness. You gotta tell your kids you can do anything that you want, that you can achieve greatness. So in college, Kingsley became a superstar. That's why he's on Wikipedia. You can Google his name. And also, he went to Ireland to play rugby. He lived in a castle. He had passion for rugby. Then he went to South America. He played all over. He didn't make the Olympic team. He was kind of disappointed, but he never quit. He kept fighting. So that's how Kingsley got to be on Wikipedia, right? So you remember I told you, I never allowed him to make excuses. And that was my oldest son, and I wanted him to carry on the McGowan name. I wanted him to be great. So that's why I encourage people all the time, fight hard. I tell the kids in Fifth Ward community, you can do anything. This is why we're doing the bike rally on December the 20th. We're doing it for the community. But I'm about to close out and tell you something about Kingsley, right? So I told you right now, so he's no longer playing rugby, but he's a graduate student at the University of Southern California. He has a 3.9 GPA. He's also a project manager, and he's also developing an app. He's gonna be an amazing CEO of his own company because he's a fighter. And I told him, son, you carry the McGowan last name. And I want you to go out there and you tackle corporate America and you give it all you got. I'm closing out, but I want to tell you about my amazing son named Kingsley McGowan. Have a good day.